Okay, let's see. Alright, Twitch is live. What about YouTube? Let's see, starting, and we are live. Alright, good. So, everyone, and actually no, I did save it. It's just not updated on the dashboard. Yes, okay. Everyone, this is GeoWill from Productions², and we are back to do some more live streams. This time we're going to be doing a first impressions live stream for They Are Billions and Rise of Industry. I've already played They Are Billions a little bit. I haven't played Rise of Industry at all, so when we start that up, that'll be just kind of a first-time experience, actual first-time experience playing it, so to see how it goes. So, They Are Billions is a game about, it's a proper RTS game. I think it's probably one of the, I can't think of another actual proper RTS game that's come out recently. Zombie survival kind of thing, but legitimate RTS game too on top of all that. And it's actually kind of difficult, interestingly enough. It's simple yet difficult. Okay, not so simple, but yeah, it's a traditional RTS that has an untraditional difficulty to it. I'll put it that way. Just because of how the mechanics are done, it's a pretty interesting game from what I've seen so far. I'm just gonna go and jump. Well, I guess we can start a new game. This is an early access right now, and it is pretty cool though. So yeah, survival game, which is basically your main skirmish kind of thing. Challenge of the week. I guess they... See, I haven't played this challenge yet. Okay. That's Scrubby Athletes. Basically, it's like a leaderboard kind of thing. Then there's custom level, which, play super fast travel game with just 50 days to build your colony before the final swarm arrives. You will not be alone. Neighboring colonies in the new empire will try and keep you from joining the hordes infected. That's interesting. We're gonna go into the survival game here. I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna name it Survival 2 because I already have a survival game called Survival. So if you don't rename it, it'll overwrite what's there. So there's a couple things here to talk about. So you have game duration, infected population, and then you also have the map type. So there's actually 4 map types, and how this works is you have to beat each one to unlock the next one. So there's actually conditions. So for example, in order to unlock Peaceful Lowlands, you have to beat the Dark Moorland with a score factor of 20%. To do Frozen Highlands, it's 60% of Peaceful Lowlands, and then Desolate Wastelands 100% on Frozen Highlands. Then you also have the game duration, and the score factor is based on what you choose on the options here. So, like if I say brutal, then it's 55%. Easy is 10%. So if you want to do easy and then probably medium, yeah, medium will get you there. What about low? Low will get you there too. So you can go easy on the duration and infected population accessible for the low. I'm gonna stick to 120 and very low for now. Just gonna start. So this is, like I said, a pretty interesting game. So on top of it, it's a colony builder. It's the top level surface. Underneath that, though, there's this mechanic about zombies, and so not only are you expanding and building out, you also have to then build up defenses and build more buildings and things like that. And you need area to expand to. So it kind of forces you to progressively push into zombie territory. That's the best way to put it. You see this a lot in older... It's not really so much RTS-ish either. It is kind of and isn't. Well, no more once I actually get the campaign mode out, which they're saying is supposed to be massive. But like Nemoria, I'm just gonna pause it. Actually, like Nemoria and Dwarf Fortress, for example, it's kind of the skirmish mode resembles those, where you have unaffiliated enemies around you that attack you in certain intervals, and as time goes on, they get more aggressive, more aggressive, more aggressive, and also depending on, how much. I'm assuming it's how many people you have in your colony. It might be strictly based on time, though, in this case. Not exactly sure of the mechanics. But it puts a lot of pressure on you, for sure. The one that I was playing last night was really awesome because, well, it is and isn't. It's good early game because basically I'm hemmed into this, like, kind of canyon area where the entire northwest, west to northeast side of the map is closed off, so no infecting can come in that way. So it's really easy to control, but at the same time, there's not that much room to expand. So, whereas you have this kind of thing and this kind of setup, you want to get your military, I think, what's it called, barracks, your soldiers center up and running as quickly as possible because you're going to need a lot of, not a lot, but you'll need more than what you have to start with, units to patrol around your base, around your colony to prevent the infected from getting too close. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of look at what resources we have here. Let me go and unpause this. Let's go scout around a bit. Looks like we have a turret here. Shocking tower. Okay. We'll need to, there's some energy. We'll need to uninfect it though. So we got not much wood, which is interesting. We got this over here. I guess we got some over here too.
Let's go.
We do have some water there, which is good for fishing. Looks like we have quite a bit of game. I think this might be oil. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far yet. The main resources are gold, wood, stone, iron, and oil. Then your secondary resources are your colonists, your workers, your food, and your energy production.
Understood.
Let's see.
All right.
So this is iron here.
Understood.
This is iron. As far as I can tell, resources don't deplete when you put a production facility on them. They just produce every... There's the dead there. Oh, there's some of the dead there.
Let's go.
They just produce over time. As far as I know, because I had a sawmill on a forest on my other game for pretty much an hour and a half, and it didn't consume any of the trees around it. So what I'm going to do is, since I know we have dead over there, I'm going to set these guys on a patrol.
All the way.
I'm going to start them off here. No, get back here. I'll start them here, and we're going to just basically have them patrol out to here, down to here, and then over here and up here. That's going to be the patrol route. I probably didn't have to re-put it there, so let's probably just go back around. Yeah. Still, that's what we'll do with those guys for now. What we're going to do here with this now is we're going to build some tents. So I want to build them away from where I know the dead are at. So I'm going to build them on this side of the command center here. You need these to produce colonists, but also for workers. I think they only produce like maybe 1 or 2 workers. Yeah, 2 workers. And they don't produce them perpetually. So if you lose a worker or you consume a worker, you don't get it back. Same thing with the colonists, as far as I can tell. And it's probably a situation where you might want to destroy these and rebuild them to get the resources back, potentially. Yeah, everything takes workers. Some things take additional secondary resources besides the main ones, the primary ones. But you'll need workers for a lot of things. For the military installation here, though, we need wood and stone, and we already got the workers and energy. We're going to need to make more tents, though, for the workers, because we're going to be using some of those to do various things here. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to make some resource gathering stuff. We're going to do a fisherman cottage over here where this water is. That'll give us 14. Saw the little the image with the number there. It gets us 14 per gathering on that. And it also will come with its own, a few of its own workers, I believe. Or no, colonists. Provides 2 colonists. And then we're going to do the sawmill, which we're going to put down here next to this forest. So one thing to talk about here is buildings. So buildings can become infected, like this one is here. And when they are infected, the colonists that they provide will get zombified and they'll start attacking things around them. Now this is really bad when you start getting into when they get into your colonist housing, if you will. Because what will happen is that they'll infect these tents or whatever other buildings you have for colonists, and any colonists that were made from those tents become zombies themselves, and you can kind of get the idea. It gets out of hand really fast. I managed to recover from an attack where it got all my tents. A zombie got to one of my tents, it spread to all my tents. I managed to kill off all the zombies. And fix the tents, but it was a nightmare. I almost lost that one. That was the first game I played on this. So what we'll do now is we got those. This over here is stone, so that's pretty close to the base, which is good. To get to the iron here, though, we're going to have to build out our area of influence using a Tesla tower. But we'll get to that later. First, I want to get the main things established first. The food and wood supply established first. Let's go ahead and build some more tents. I think 2 more should do for now. So now every so often that this fills up, it'll produce, what was it, 12 wood? Yeah, 12 wood.
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed. Well waiting. Let's go. Attention. Building completed. Come on. Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
Your colony needs a mayor.
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
So tired. Last night was amazing. Roger that. Gotcha.
Attention. Building completed.
My bow and arrows are ready. My bow and arrows are ready. Oh, here we go again. Whatever you say, as long as you pay me. Okay. My bow and arrows are ready. My bow and arrows are ready. This better be good. What's up? Any infected around? Yeah. Oh, more orders. Are you sure? You again? Yeah.
Attention. Building completed.
My bow and arrows are ready. Oh, here we go again. Okay. I hope you're not wasting my time.
Do you need me? Attention. Building completed.
All the way. That will be easy.
Attention. Building completed. 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 Dozens of infected are near the colony. They are approaching from the west.
What? What's up? Any infected around? Oh, here we go again. Aren't there other units to bother? Roger that.
Commander? Just tell me what to do.
Any attacks?
Attention. Building completed.
Okay. sure? Great. This better be good. Yes, tell me. But be quick. What? My bow is ready. Roger that. You again. What? Are you sure? You again. What? Yeah. You are gonna pay me for this, right? Okay, let's do this. Gotcha. Yes, tell me. But be quick. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Aren't there other units to bother? Are you sure?
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
What? Okay. Yes. Gotcha. Let me put an arrow in his head. You order, you pay. Right between the eyes. Oh, more orders. Roger that. Gotcha. Are you sure? You call that a plan?
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed.
Aren't there other units to bother? You again. This better be good. You again. Great. Yeah. Oh, here we go again.
Tell me, do you need me? Ready and waiting.
My bow and arrows are ready.
Attention. Building completed.
My bow and arrows are ready. You again. Great. Oh, here we go again. A new task. You again. My bow is ready. Taste my arrows. Yes. Great. Yeah. Faster than my bow.
They are attacking the colony defenses.
Orders, sir.
What? Great. You again. Are you sure? Yes. Straight to the heart. What? Gotcha. You are gonna pay me for this, right? Yeah. Taste my arrows. Are you sure? What? Great. Yeah. You again. Okay. This better be good. Gotcha. What? Okay, let's do this. You are gonna pay me for this, right?
Attention. Building completed. Attention. Building completed. Dozens of infected are near the colony. They are approaching from the north.
Do you need me? Orders, sir. Any orders?
What? Okay. Oh, here we go again.
They are trying to break through.
Oh, more orders. Gotcha.
Sorry, sir. I was cleaning my weapon. All right.
Our defenses are being attacked.
Let me put an arrow in his head. You again. Oh, here we go again. What?
Tell me. Great ideas, sir.
You are gonna pay me for this, right? Straight to the heart. Yeah. This better be good. What? Roger that. You are gonna pay me for this, right? You order, you pay. Faster than my bow. Okay. Right between the eyes. Yeah. What's up? Any infected around? Yes. What do you want now? My bow and arrows are ready.
Just tell me what to do.
My bow is ready.
The walls
Any
are under
orders?
attack.
All right. On your orders. Tell me. Come on. great idea, sir.
Chase my arrows.
Do you need me? At your service.
My bow and arrows are ready.
And the microphone has been turned off this whole time. I just looked down and saw the thing flash, and I was like, oh, damn. Okay. So. As I was saying, we're going to try and push all these dead back a bit so we can build out this wall about this far, and we can get access to all this and all this. That'll get us enough food gathering potential to, I think, build up a little bit more. First, we got to build all of our military units to allow that to happen. And actually,
My bow and arrows are ready.
I think for the last few, we're going to do some more soldiers. That might bring the dead a bit more, but at the same time, it's going to be faster to kill them. One thing I find interesting is that every once in a while you've seen some of them, like the rushers. Those are colonists from some other colony that's been destroyed. It kind of adds a little bit more depth, nuance, whatever to it, that every once in a while you just kind of get a reminder that some other colonies were out here and have been destroyed. Adds that little extra bit of jeopardy. We got one more soldier coming. Then we can try our idea here. So I think it's going to be an equal group of, or no, it's going to be 6 and 4.
Reporting for duty. Swords.
Yeah, to be honest, I might want to put this guy up here.
All the way. Tell me.
Alright, we got our
Come
troops
on.
here. Got some stockpile stuff over here.
Let's go.
So as you can see, the soldiers are drawing the dead over this way. It's actually, it's actually kind of an interesting way of doing it. You draw them too, and you can shoot them out that way. So having to go towards them at the same time. The problem is if you get too many coming over, there's some really quick ones. You can get into trouble that way.
For the humans! That will be easy.
do want to focus on those infected colonists. There's another building down here. Not sure what that is.
All right.
Faster than my bow.
Radar tower.
Do you need me?
Ranger unit's now a veteran. No clue what that means, but interesting.
Oh, more orders. What?
Oh, there we go. A veteran.
Is everything okay?
I don't want to bite off too much more than I can chew with this, so.
Come on. I will kill our enemies.
I'm going to get them far enough away that we can build up this wall.
Let's go.
Not too much problem. And at this point, picking this stuff up wouldn't do us any good because we're already maxed out on our resources.
Bring 'em on. Here we come. I will kill our enemies.
Alright, that should be good. So I'm going to set them there for the moment. Let's actually bring them down here now. There are also some coming up from this direction.
Charge!
I want to see if we have to worry about too much. Not really, it's not that many. I do want to peel them back a bit though.
Charge!
There's another forest here. It'd be really nice to wall it off down here somewhere to get access to the back of this forest too.
Understood.
Let's kind of see what we got. There's a nice little horde of them there.
On your orders. Perfect.
Say I put a wall here and one over here, maybe.
Great idea, sir.
That's going to take a bit of building though to get a Tesla tower down to this side. Oh, that's interesting. So this feeds into here. Oh, there's another section here too though. Yeah, this is. Oh, there's a little section here as well.
That will be easy.
Still though, we
Let's go.
could expand our territory out a bit with that.
For the humans. Let's go.
So we definitely have some expansion potential here. Holy hell, these guys just spawned in the middle of nowhere.
All right.
I suspect zombies can spawn in darkness.
All the way.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is I want to... Let's take a look up here what we got. Not much going on up there. So I'm going to go ahead and build a Tesla tower here. And I'm going to build one here. No.
Units under attack.
Oh, hell.
Attention. Building completed.
Crap. Alright, we're going to get a couple tents taken over. Okay, more than a couple.
Let's go. Orders, sir. Come on.
Damn. This ain't good.
Narrowing his head.
Commander? Understood.
This is definitely not good. We are screwed. This had like a tiny horde come over this way and
Break into the buildings.
just boom, here we are.
They got me.
No, we're done. We're done. We are done. That's how fast you can get screwed in this game. It's like a couple units breaking through here or there and it's like done. If they hit all of your tents like this. Still, 39 days is not too bad. So, my first impressions of this game are pretty good, actually. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It does RTS really well. It adds in some kind of innovative things to it. Well, not really innovative, but things that you haven't seen in RTS games for quite a while. It's a bare bones traditional RTS style of game, with the added pressures of waves of enemies at certain times. Definitely a pretty good game. If you haven't gotten it yet, I'd recommend go and buy it. Go and buy it on Steam. It's on sale right now. It's like 20-something bucks. It's not that much. It's a pretty good game though. And there's going to be a 50 to 60 hour single player campaign eventually for it. So, let's move on to Rise of Industry. I have no clue what this one is like yet. Let me go and switch over to that source, and then we shall go. So, what I'm also thinking about doing is I'm thinking about streaming a bit of development for Odyssean Void as well. I've been working in UE 4 recently, and
For the ambitious tycoon, the start of a thriving empire is only ever one deal away. Exploiting gaps in the market and meeting demand is all in a day's work for a cunning entrepreneur. And expanding your business is necessary if you're to keep up with the times. But you won't be the only one looking to make it big. Competitors in self-sufficient towns will soon leave you looking for that next niche in the market. And a change of entrepreneurial tactics might be necessary to fend off financial collapse. However, be careful with your newfound direction. A poorly planned infrastructure will grind your business to a halt. And badly placed polluting industry will be sure to harm your reputation and quickly turn your business allies into foes. But the savvy business person will have all this under control with well-executed trade routes by road, water, air, and rail. And a well-targeted PR campaign will soon have those green towns and villages back on side and accepting your goods. All that's left to worry about is what you're going to produce next. For you are an industrialist, and success is in your blood. And who knows what the next new day will bring in the rise of industry.
I'll hand it to him. The pitch of the game is interesting. Yes, I've been working in UE4 to implement the mining tech demo, and we'll work on that a bit probably. Okay, so edge of screen, max area, safe area. Oh, for scaling. Okay. I think that's probably about good in terms of the size of the text and being able to read everything. Alright. English. Alright, so let's see, we got a whole bunch of different stuff here. So it's still an alpha, so that's where we're at. It actually looks pretty well put together for an alpha, to be honest. So career, scenarios, sandbox, tutorial, mod manager, guides, there's mod support. Bunch of stuff down here for all that stuff. Featured mod, product spawner. Let's go into the tutorial. Always a good place to start. It's always the tutorials are very important. They're always the very first thing that the players are introduced to. So how well designed the tutorial is can kind of give you an idea of how I don't say good, it's not really that, but how mindful and thorough. I don't know how attentive the developer is to their game, I guess you could say. Because this is like, you know, the first impression kind of thing is always in the tutorial. So if the tutorial sucks, it could leave a really bad first impression. Anyways, there we go. Welcome to ROI. Skills, here are some instructions. Give you a head start. Alright. So, panning, shift, QE to rotate, and zooming up and down. That's normal. To build anything, you need to buy a permit for a settlement at. So you'll need to buy a permit from a settlement town center for that region. In this case, we need to go to the Chapwick Town Center. Alright. So, region. Logistical permit allows building or demolishing of roads, construction, logistic buildings like trade depots or warehouses. Also, some permit for gatherers. A fill building is a build almost anything you want in a region. You'll need to buy this one for the tutorial. Okay, that's quite a bit, but alright. So now I want to close this. First, we need a water siphon to collect collect water. So, gatherers, water siphon. To be used in farms, factories, generate other products. Okay. Okay, so here's the first problem with this. We can't build it here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we can. You have to turn it a certain way, I guess. Must be on shore tiles. After placing a water siphon, you need a few. We'll need a few harvesters placed. Okay, so the harvester has to go over here. Then we have to connect it with roads. Yeah. Okay, networks, dirt road. Sand can collect indefinitely as long as you keep paying for the upkeep. Some of the resources like coal, copper, gas, iron, oil have a limited amount of sources available. Okay, finite, obviously. So, it's supposed to be coal up here. So, gathers, coal, mine. Okay. Lumber harvesters are an area of effect. Select fortress close to them and exclusive use. Interesting. Trees and fish will deplete, but they are renewable. Fish will respawn over time and trees can be planted. Okay. Warehouse acts as a hub, small area on the map. Once placed, to coordinate, collect, distribution, and production. Collection and distribution of products amongst buildings within its radius. So logistics, warehouse. Close construction bar. Obviously we'll need roads. Open the tech tree. Oh, up here. Since the beginning of each game, get 3 free unlocks. Spend money to unlock stuff. So, I'm gonna unlock produce wheat field, vegetable field. Okay, we already have water. So open the farm's construction, crop farm. Place in the highlighted area. Open the Chapwick Farmers Market. Open the crop production tab. Okay. Set the crop farms productions to vegetable. So connections. Place a road between the warehouse and Chapwick. Okay. So what is going on here? It looks like it's, I don't know, something's bugged or something. It's not working. Oh, there we go. That's kind of annoying. There we go. Open the warehouse panel. So this is kind of like that other one that I did the first impressions for. Can't think of it now, but it's a similar thing, just less graphics. So click on destinations, vegetable products, farm produce, destination, commercial farmers market. Okay. It's maximum amount stored. Use infinite. Keep sending the product until storage is full. It also says a specific amount destined to be stored on suspension production lines. Max stored to 5. Destinations any building. Forgo using the warehouse automatically. Okay. So there's the tutorial. So let's go ahead and jump into a sandbox and see what happens here. Men 16 gigabytes of RAM. $16 gigs, really? Well, it's fine. I got 32, but still, it's kind of insane. Town Industries controls whether AI towns will place buildings or not. Let's put it on medium then. River generation, it's fine. Amount of regions, standard. Town name generator, United States. Preset newcomer. We'll keep everything else the way it is for now. Alright, Fort Plain. Okay, let's go and build our headquarters. Okay, shops in town. Farmer's market, hardware store, and clothing store wholesaler. Prosperity stagnating. Total population about 200k. So, our normal speed of game day is 7.5 real world seconds. A month is 30 game days, and a year is 12 months. Your map name goes here. So we're gonna want to do we'll do what we did with the tutorial and build up a, does it say infinite money? That's interesting. Alright, so we have water now. I'm going to set it to vegetables. And we want to build a warehouse. Oh. There we go. So here comes our trucks of water here. Here goes some trucks going to pick up the water. So 1 water per field. Okay, so again at the warehouse. So Fort Plain Farmers Market. Now we're just gonna send everything. Interesting, they're actually growing. Cool. Probably should take a look at the farmers market, to be honest. See if I can find it. It's the hardware store. There it is. Sugar is a high demand item. Still. Fully demanded. Does that mean there's no supply? Yeah, that means there's no supply. So we got our first produced items coming over here to the warehouse. To be honest, I probably should have taken them straight from the farm down to the farmer's market. I would have cut out an extra step there, but whatever. Let's see what happens here. So now they're going to travel down here to the farmer's market. When you got windows open, it's the bottom. Because this thing's on the bottom, you kind of have to go in a certain place, these two places here, to drop it down on the edge scroll. It's kind of annoying, but I run into that a couple of times now. Alright, our first stuff down there. So, units demanded 10. Units stored by the player 8. Total capacity is 92. Hold shift for more info. Deliver 30 rubber band a crown. That's a contract. Okay, so it's over here at crown. That bubble thing. So let's look at our budget overview here. So if you want a detailed overview of all the things, this panel is for you. Okay. So building upkeep, 32k. Vehicle upkeep 5, let's call it 6k. Construction, products sold, 120k. Total expenses, total income. So basically, we are in the black, as it were. So 30. Let's call this 38k. Okay, 42k total, I guess. So yeah, we have we're getting about 80,000 income return. Total sales, demand for 6, applied 8, total sales, Fort Plain, buildings, total sales. Yeah, there we go, 103. Well, we did have 103 income. Looks like it's very spotty. It's not like a recurring thing. It's just whenever we take vegetables down there and sell them. So, running operating costs, we are negative for that. But if you were to make a few more farms, probably would be able to get that dealt with. Mini budget overview. Yeah, because we haven't actually sold any products yet. That's kind of interesting how that works. Of course, this there isn't really supply side; it's demand side economics. So you don't make money unless you sell stuff. Whereas supply side and service economies, you recurringly make money in a cyclical pattern or a timely pattern. So I think we could probably start up a lumberyard here. Or, lumberyard. Too close to Fort Plain. Well, that wasn't supposed to be there, but... Just have to build the road up because I screwed that up a bit. Alright, our lumber yard's going. Average price 3.49k. So anybody to see the price of this? Over all the cities, or do we just have to go to each one? Let's just have to go to each one and see what the 294. So it looks like wood's pretty good value here. There's an AI factory up here. What do they got going on? Copper mine. So we're gonna bypass the warehouse and go straight to the interesting. So where is the I don't see the tech thing up here. State Fort Hancock. From wholesaler Crown, go into the hardware store. Likely coming to pick up the wood that we're producing. It's that same style of truck. Well, it's actually a flatbed, but let's see. Let's follow this sucker and see where it's going. Okay, to the hardware store. At least I thought it was. Oh no, it's gone to the one in Berkeley. Requires berries and water. Okay. So it's 34.62k. It's pretty good. So your crop will only do one set of thing, or your farm will only do one set of crops. Can't do multi-crop fields or farms. Can't have more than one. type of crop. Produced at plantation. That is quite a bit of money for that. Alright, so there's access to water now. I mean, it's already set to berries. Okay, good. Textile factory. Probably maybe somewhere in between. Alright, so we're getting the water in. It'll take 30 days for the berries to grow. Can speed this up a bit. Alright, there they go. Now we're harvesting them, taking them over to the factory. Then 20 days later we'll have dye, which we'll sell for a bunch. Drought water siphon. Oh wow. So obviously if we didn't have infinite money right now, we'd be probably would have lost by now, probably would have gone bankrupt. You know, if they're really getting slowed down by that friggin' patch of dirt we stuck in there by accident. Let me go ahead and take that out. So goes our die. And now it's going to go taken. Oh, it's getting taken somewhere. We need to set up a route for that, I think. Where are you? Oh, there it is, tier 1. Okay, and then I'm going to take another clothing store or factory or whatever. And wow, we just went way up on the monthly balance. Nice. We cleared 318k that month. Probably going to be more once I actually get a full month's worth of selling going on. So we're already up to 146. That's just with the lumber and the vegetables. Alright, there's all the berries. Upkeep for the buildings. Then the cost for the vehicles to pick up the stuff. These guys are transporting dye down to the clothing store. Okay, looks like we had like a... There was a larger increase because we had a bunch of stored dye, I think. Still, we're turning a profit every month now. For an alpha, this isn't too bad, actually. I haven't seen any kind of crazy frigging bugs that you normally find in an alpha. Normally, alphas are just bug-ridden to all hell and back. It's got a lot of features in it. Runs pretty smoothly. The controls are really responsive. And they've got a good amount of information available to you. Different menus and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty good actually for an alpha. I was expecting a total mess. This feels more like early beta even, to me. So, for this one, pretty good first impressions, really. The tutorial's a little bit light, but it gives you all the basic information you need to know to play the game. You just need to look up to see where things are made at and where you can sell it at, and you can easily do that from just clicking through the menus, which is pretty nice. So yeah, it's very intuitive. It's very the UI's. It's not minimal. It's not. Not cluttered, I guess you could say, but it's not cluttered at the same time. It's just about right. There's a little bit of issue with contrast with this bottom row in terms of like when you're rolling over certain things, like specifically like towns and things like that. If you get it at just the right spot, it gets kind of hard to see some of the icons. There's a little bit of a black bar down here, and when you mouse over it, it goes darker when you hover over it, so it's not that big a deal. Yeah, I think this game is gonna have there's some pretty good potential there actually. I'd give it a 7, which in my mind is extremely high for an alpha. Yeah, I'd be comfortable giving it a 7 out of 10. This definitely has a lot of potential, as far as I can tell. They've already got a lot of stuff in here, and since it's an alpha, they'll be adding more stuff. Of course, there's also the tweaks and things. I haven't played this on, again, they're infinite money right now. It's probably one of the settings when you first start up the map. Let me see. Let's save this one. Oh, infinite resources, there it is, yeah. Oh, okay, so yeah, so resource nodes, okay, the resource node's not depleted, that's fine. I'm looking for, like, the infinite money, though. Maybe it's part of this preset. Weird. Settlement demand up 200%. So yeah, definitely, part of it was just the settings here were on the easiest settings, but still. There's also some other game modes too. Scenarios. Oh, there's a whole bunch of settings in this one. River frequency, hill average height. So basically, you're like you're building a map out of this or something. Bankruptcy allows you to go bankrupt. Permanent events. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a break, work on a couple things, and do a couple things on here for some of the other projects I'm doing, and then probably around, I'd say around 9:45 to 10 o'clock, I'll jump back on stream, and we will dig into the Unreal Engine stuff. Blueprint Tycoon, that's what I was trying to think of. That's the one I played that was kind of similar to that, but a less graphical version is Blueprint Tycoon.